Quickly, just want to say thank you guys for getting this channel to 900. Man, I said 800 last time. I can't believe how fast this channel is growing. Almost at 1,000. I hope we can hit it. Anyway, enjoy the video. Thomas and Friends has many iconic characters, whether it be Thomas, Percy, or James, and so on. However, what about the less iconic characters? The characters who have rarely appeared and vanished from the show or railway series at any given time? Well, today I wanted to cover one of the most interesting cases of a character who got lost and never really found his way back into the series, Duke. Duke the Lost Engine is a Railway series character based on the story Duke the Lost Engine, if you couldn't tell. But today we're talking more about his TV show appearance, as this is the one that went missing. Duke appeared all the way back in Season 4, in the first episode of the season, Grandpa. He was shown to be a lovable grandpa figure with a bit of a gruff exterior. And he would continue to have 3 more episodes afterwards that showed us a lot about his personality. He'd appear in the background for the remainder of the 4th season, but as soon as Season 5 started, he might as well have just not existed. He never popped up again. Well, unless you count this scene from Season 7's Harold and the Flying Horse, but this is just stock footage. This does not count as an original appearance from Duke. I don't think it was intended to be one for sure. So yeah, Duke never appeared outside of Season 4, unless you count this instance, I guess, but I don't. But this does beg the question, though. Why did Duke never pop up again? His 4 stories are some of the highest regarded episodes of the whole show, if you ask most fans, and generally everybody seemed to want Duke back. Even people who were working on the show had shown some strong interest in Duke popping up. The first season after Duke's introduction, Season 5, had no signs of him unless you count these portraits. But something interesting to note during this time is the new character of that season, Bertram, who uses Duke's body, but with the face of Smudger, another character who popped up in Season 4. So for a little while, Duke's model wasn't even Duke's, and I don't know if this really heavily affected his way of appearances or not, but generally speaking, during this time, they were starting to use the old narrow gauge engine models a lot less for these newer, bigger, and much easier to use models. Duke and Sir Handel, however, didn't get any initially, and I think that played a big factor as to why they wouldn't use them. Even if there were scenes they could clearly use them for them, Duke was already repainted into a different character for the majority of the season's production anyway, so what would be the point of putting him back like this? And even then, he stayed Bertram at least until 2004. And even though his model was back to being Duke, and even with the switch to CGI there wouldn't even be a need for a model, Duke still never popped up again. And that's kind of where the story ends for him in the TV show. He only appeared in Season 4 and nothing else, unless you count stock footage or portrait cameos. Even though Duke never popped up in the series again, there are 2 instances where he was considered a returning possibly. Season 15's Kevin the Steamy showed him along with Sir Handel and Peter Sam in this storyboard, though it's unclear if he was actually going to be in this episode or if they drew him just for fun because they were on narrow gauge track. The answer to that is very unclear. And Sam Wilkinson, the series railway consultant at the time, had mentioned them wanting to bring Duke back and be at the Earl's estate. However, this plan obviously never went through. So this brings us to the thesis of the video. Why did Duke never pop up again? To be honest, I think the reason is, what would have been the point to the producers? They didn't really see much value in keeping him around. Season 5 had already proven that they were willing to repaint Duke into a different character, so he was unusable for basically all of Seasons 5, 6, and 7 unless they wanted to take the effort. And while HIT did repaint him back into Duke, they never felt the need to make a bigger model of him. With them introducing an old character in Season 10, that could have been a time to use Duke, but not only did they decide to alter Sir Handel's personality, but in their eyes they probably saw it as a, why bring back an old character when we can make a new character that we can market for the season? And as for CGI, well, the narrow gauge engines barely got any focus. Out of the 276 CGI episodes, only 7 of them are narrow gauge themed, and 4 of which being the original 6 from season 4. So again, Mattel probably saw no desire to bring Duke back with their lack of interest in the narrow gauge engines and the lack of profitability they have. Well, now that brings up the final point. Does Duke have a future in All Engines Go? No, I don't think he does. Well, it is true that this is a complete reboot and they've brought back some weird characters like Bulstrode before. I don't see Mattel changing their mind that the narrow gauge engines aren't profitable, considering none of them have popped up in the show yet. I think Duke's story ends here. Maybe it's not such a bad thing Duke only appeared in 4 episodes. It makes those 4 episodes he appears in super special. And at least we know for a fact Duke's model is okay, thanks to the Twitter user Thomas the Tank Merch, who's done a great job restoring that model. But in general, tell me what you guys think about this video. I really wanted to do something like this for ages, talking about the disappearance of certain characters, and Duke was the one I chose because, well, he's Duke. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye!